All right. Well, hi everybody. Welcome to class.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for participating. All right. So I know that the little flyers said healthy cooking, and we'll get to that. This isn't a trick. Like, wait a second. Why are we talking about whole foods and plant-based diet? We're going to go through that a little bit, and then we're going to go through some other things about saving money and eating healthy on a budget, and we're going to try some healthy food, okay? So it's kind of like an eclectic lifestyle academy today. It's not just about one thing. But what I wanted to do was cover for sure next month's wellness challenge and a little bit of this month's challenge. So if you saw, this month's challenge is to get one recipe a week that's a clean eating recipe, a whole foods based recipe. So this week the theme is breakfast or lunch. So you just have to come up with one recipe for a minimum each week for whatever the theme is. Next week it's dinners, and last week it's dessert or snacks. So if you do the wellness challenge, that's what you would want to do. If you want to come up with more recipes than that to turn in, I would love for you to do that as well, because I'm hopefully collecting a lot of them. Also, next month for August, there's a challenge of one meatless meal a week. Okay. Now, first hour already helped me figure out how I have to word things for Serigraph, because they already started playing games with it, and they're like, great, my one meatless meal a week will be breakfast. I'll just eat oatmeal or cereal all week. And I'm like, here we go. Okay. Already ruining it. No, we're going to be looking at eating meals that typically have meat in it and trying to eat a meatless meal. And today I wanted to go through a little bit of that so you can kind of get an idea of what we're talking about. And so that's why we're going to kind of do a mix of a whole bunch of things, and it won't take too long, and it's a little bit more lighthearted. So why I wanted to do whole food plant-based diets. Right now, immediately in your head, I want you to wipe out the little voice that is going, oh my God, I went to class today and Sarah's trying to make us all vegetarians. Sarah's trying to make us all vegans. I can't do that, okay? And the second you sit there and you're like, no me, I can't do that. Stop that voice in your head, back up, and let me walk you through what this really means, okay? So before you start thinking about all the stereotypes of, I'm going to be eating salad the rest of my life, that's not what we're talking about. We're going to get to that. And ironically, I brought you salad to try, so I've already ruined it. But it's okay. We're gonna walk through it. All right? So, whole food plant-based diet. It is the idea of eating plants that come from the earth and things that you know what it is in its natural form. For example, there's no field of Cheetos. Okay? We don't know what those are. Okay? So it's food that you know. Sit down. Actually, wait, I'm holding on to the handouts here. You guys are going to follow along with some slides. All right, so it's food that you know what it is when you look at it, all right? Even things, there might be an extra one there, 3 or 4, I'm not sure. Even things like pretzels, those are very processed, okay? That does not look like the wheat that it came from, all right? So even things that we think, oh, that's pretty healthy, right? Because it's low fat or low calorie or low carb, that doesn't mean that it's healthy. It does not mean that it's whole foods or plants, okay? So that's what we're trying to focus on, is eating things that you know came from the earth and how they came from in their real form. So it's based on fruits, vegetables, tubers, whole grains, and legumes, okay? It excludes or minimizes meats, all right? When I tell people that I eat a plant-based diet, I'm not a vegetarian, I'm not a vegan, but I do limit the animal products that I eat. So, like I've kind of gone through, we'll go through again today, I might make a meal, and maybe there is a little meat in there, but it's more for the flavoring. It's not the star of the show, okay? And I'll get to that in a second. So this is just minimizing it. It's not saying you have to be a vegetarian, okay? I understand a good steak is great, all right? But we're gonna walk through that a little bit. So examples, and you guys know these things. You know what fruit and vegetables are, but we want to include tubers and starchy vegetables, so potatoes, sweet potatoes, yams, winter squash, corn, green peas, things like that, starchy veg. They still are vegetables, but they're just in a starchy veg category versus your cauliflower, carrots, mushrooms, peppers, things like that. Whole grains, so millet, quinoa, barley, rice, and things that are going to grow in a big old field, okay? That's going to be your grains. Legumes are your beans, so peas, chickpeas, kidney beans, canna lily, black beans, lentils. All right, those are going to be in that category. So it's just a variety of different foods that are plants. Any questions with that? Okay. It's not a diet of just vegetables. Okay. A lot of times people are like, what am I going to eat kale all my life, or I can't eat green smoothies every day? It doesn't need to look like that, even though I do eat kale and green smoothies, okay? This is why this doesn't make sense. When people have an idea of what a plant-based diet is, again, not vegetarian or vegan, they're like, oh, they probably just eat salads all day. If you need to eat 2,000 calories to stay alive for you to sustain your health, you'd have to eat 16 pounds of kale, okay? They don't have a lot of calories. We need calories to stay alive, all right? So it doesn't make sense when you say to someone, oh, I'm a vegetarian, that they're just eating vegetables. It's the idea that you eat a wide variety of foods and you eat carbohydrates. It's starch-based, but it's the right starches. It's not like you just go and eat a bunch of white pasta and a bunch of white bread and a bunch of, white rice and tortilla chips and potato chips, and you're like, well, I'm not eating meat. Okay? It's the idea that it's real food that is whole grain or whole foods. Okay? Does that make sense? That it's a mix of all that stuff. It's not just one little thing, like romaine lettuce. Okay? It's a wide variety. So it's not eating for single nutrients. One thing that that trends in our culture is, oh, you got to eat meat for protein. I'm here to tell you, protein is not a weight loss supplement. Okay? People are saying, oh, if you want to lose weight, you just got to cut out fat and carbs and have protein. Protein will help you lose weight if you are eating the right protein, you are exercising, so your body is using that protein to build muscle and other tissue, and then repairing tissue, and then your body will have that muscle, and then it'll help you burn fat and blood sugar. Actually, it'll help you burn blood sugar so that your body doesn't store it as fat. So it has to go through all these things. You can't just eat protein and lose weight, okay? You have to do all of the other pieces to go with it, like move your body parts, all right? So it's not a diet, but we can't just eat for just one little thing. And it even includes vegetables. Oh, I got to eat a lot of tomatoes for lycopene. I got to eat a lot of carrots for my eyesight. I got to eat a lot of fish for omega fatty acids. Well, those come in leafy green vegetables, have omega fatty acids. But we don't think about that like, oh, we got to take fish oil. Okay, so eating a wide variety, you're going to get these nutrients. You're going to get vitamins and minerals and macronutrients and micronutrients, all of the things, if you eat a wide variety. If you're kind of stuck in like, these are the veggies I eat, these are the fruits I like, I eat these grains, and then I eat this meat, like kind of widen your variety, which is why I brought you a bunch of different stuff to try today. Okay? If you eat a variety, lots of color, lots of options, you're going to get the nutrients you need. You don't have to worry about like, am I getting enough protein? Am I getting enough fat? Because if you just eat a large variety, you should get it. So 6 ways that you can save your health and money eating a little bit more plant-based. First one is economical. Part of this is your grocery bill. Meat is more expensive. Think about what you have to do when you have meat. Okay? It costs a lot of money to raise animals. Do you know that take yourself outside of our first world situation, we have more water and clean water for our animals, while billions of people in the world do not have fresh water for humans. Okay? We spend so much money and resources on feeding animals that we eat. It's outrageous when you start comparing it to people who are starving all over the world. And our animals eat better and they have antibiotics and doctors and feed, and they have all of the, and we're using so much land and all of these things just for animals for us to eat. Okay? So there's expenses to that. Then there's butchering it. Try reading a couple things about our present day butchering and you'll wonder why you eat meat. Okay, packaging it, storing it, it's got to be refrigerated, right? It's not like a package that you can just put on the shelf. Okay, well, I guess some meat is packaged and put on the shelf without refrigeration. But it's got to go through a lot of different things to do that, okay? So that's that cost that you're paying to eat more animal products. And I know the flip side of this argument, but Sarah, produce is expensive, right? We have to water our vegetables, we have to get nutrients into the soil, I get that. But when you're spending less money on meat, guess what you have more money for? Plants. No one's really excited about that. Your faces don't show a lot of excitement. I'll tell you right now. It's a good thing the camera's on me and not on you. I'm clearly the most excited person about this in here. Okay. Also, think about your grocery bill, or think about your economics with your food beyond your grocery bill. Okay? It's not just your receipt at Pick and Save or Meijer or the Pig. Okay? What about your medical costs? Okay? Eating healthier, whether it's plant-based or whatever it is, think about prescriptions that you pay for each month. Think about chronic disease. Think about doctor visits. So just even medical costs. I know you guys have great insurance here, but it still is medical costs. It costs your company, it costs you. Also, think beyond just the dollar amount. What about time away from work for doctor appointments? What about productivity? When you guys get tired after, when you don't eat so great and you get a little tired and you don't feel as productive, that costs money here at work. It costs money in your lives, not getting stuff done. Okay? There is a price to pay economically besides the receipt on your grocery bill, right? Makes sense. It's just not limited to just that. So the more we take care of our health, the more this other stuff becomes a lot cheaper, right? Makes sense? Okay? You don't have to pay for a lot of medical bills, and trust me, I'll tell you about medical bills. All right? Many plants are cheap too. That's the other thing. So yeah, maybe you spend a little bit more on a fresh produce item, but dried beans are really cheap, and bulk rice and vegetable broth and all of those things. Greens can be really cheap. All right, so it's a really nice way to offset your costs a little bit. So let's talk about some things that happen internally. Lowering your blood sugar, going a little bit more plant-based, you're going to get some more potassium from your fruits and vegetables, a little vitamin B6, that's going to help your blood pressure. Cholesterol, this is a big one. I'll tell you what, I can't tell you who because of HIPAA, but when I see bioscreens from a vegetarian, and there are vegetarians at Serograph, there's not a lot of them, but there are. I notice those cholesterol panels right away. I know who the vegetarians are. They have beautiful cholesterol panels. So if you're someone, even if it's genetically linked cholesterol issues, consider reducing some of your meat or animal products, okay? I am not a cardiologist and I'm not making medical claims, but it's worth a shot if it's something that concerns you in your life, right? It's worth a shot with a lifestyle change, all right? This one's kind of hard to read, but it says the most common cause of death in the United States is heart disease. The average U.S. male's risk of death from heart disease is about 50% if he's an omnivore, so eats plants and animals. Goes down to 15% if it's a vegetarian, and I believe that's 4% as a vegan, okay? So that heart disease risks decrease the more you take away animal cholesterols. Better blood sugar. When we eat more of the dietary fiber, and that was in the last slide too with cholesterol, acts like kind of a scrub brush, getting that cholesterol out of our bloodstreams. So the more plants and whole foods we eat, also with whole foods, it's going to take a while to get through that dietary fiber to get to the natural sugar that occurs in that food. So no spikes in blood sugar. So if you're someone with diabetes, pre-diabetic, or you just want to have a nice steady blood sugar so you don't get so hungry throughout the day or so tired throughout the day, eating whole foods and plants is going to help you with that. Lower rates of cancer. Plants have lots of phytonutrients that are really great for cancer. Dietary changes is the number one way, aside from smoking and alcohol, those lifestyle changes, to improve your risk of avoiding cancer. Animals, foods have been linked to some cancers, like there's a rise in colon cancers and rectal intestinal cancers, and breast cancer for obesity is a big thing. You know, I mean, think about it. Back, you know, a generation ago, did your parents ever talk about all the colonoscopies they had to get? But that's like normal everyday lingo, right? Oh yeah, I'm 50, I gotta get my colonoscopy. You know, it's more normal now because there's a rise in this, so they're trying to do more preventative care. And that's because our meats are full of nitrates and nitrates and sodium solutions, and our processed foods that we eat have a lot of these chemicals in it, and so there's a rise in these things that sit in our, 22 feet of intestines. All right, that's a lot of room to hold things, okay? So the less you put in there, the less it's going to hold and cause problems later on. All right, now again, I'm not a doctor and I'm not saying that you're going to be free of cancer. I'm a perfect example to everyone about that. But if you want to reduce your risks or help your health, it's going to help you, okay? Also, weight loss. So it's the idea of clearly we've gone through a lot of different things with dietary changes and helping yourself with more whole foods and avoiding those processed foods and different things with refined sugars and refined carbohydrates to get yourself a little bit more whole foods and plant-based. Also experiencing less constipation, better sleep, less inflammation. If inflammation is something that you have any medical conditions related to inflammation, that should help. And again, lowering the risk of diabetes. So just some things to keep in mind with that. Lastly, this slide talks about the resources. This plant-based on a budget was just recently shown to me, so I've only had a little bit of time to explore it, but it looks pretty fun and some great ideas if you want to try a couple things. Forks Over Knives has a fascinating documentary. If you haven't seen it, that's something to check out. And they've got a great website. 100 Days of Real Food is not necessarily vegetarian or vegan, but a great resource. So if you're looking for stuff for the Wellness Challenge and just life in general, these are great resources. Thug Kitchen. I have all 3 of the Thug Kitchen cookbooks here. I will warn you, they are very explicit, very. So don't leave here and be like, our health coach gave us this cookbook that has all these swears in it. I'm telling you right now, if you don't like foul language, don't come up here and take a peek. But I will tell you, all of these recipes that I made for you today are from Thug Kitchen. They have great tasting food, but it comes with some language, okay? So if you can peruse through the language, it's really, really good cooking, all right? Also, maybe you like the language, then you're going to have an absolute laugh with it. And I just randomly was given this vegetarian cookbook. I found it when I was unpacking last week, and I thought, oh, I'll bring this in. Very nice language with pictures. Okay, so this is more of a safer book if you want to not be offended. Okay, but just some things to look at. And then I just wrote down, kind of half jokingly, Google in the library. A lot of people are like, well, Sarah, I don't know where to find this stuff. The internet, where I find it, okay? Or talk to people, or go get some library books or cookbooks, okay? It's out there for us, all right? We're in the day and the age where we have access to all of these things, all right? So we're not missing anything. Does anybody have any questions on any of that information and understand the difference between some sort of severe diet of vegetarian or veganism and just trying to focus a little bit more? One thing to keep in mind too, think about what you got, meat's not the star of the show. When you guys have dinner, when someone asks, what's for dinner, what's a typical answer?
Cheetos.
Oh, okay. What happens at your house? No, really, what do you guys say? What's for dinner?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti, okay, what else?
What kind of meat are we having?
Yeah, what kind of meat are we having, right? Or let's say you go out to dinner and someone's like, oh, you guys went out for dinner, what'd you have? I had the fish. I had steak. Oh, I had the chops. No one's like, I have this amazing risotto. Oh, you should have tried the steamed veggies. All right? Or if someone says, oh, we're having pork chops on the grill tonight, is their second question, oh, what's our veggie side? No. Anyone's husband's ever asked that? Your husband is like, and what's our starchy veg? No. Okay? Because our culture is to eat for the meat, right? That's our culture. Is what is for dinner? It's the pork chops, it's the hamburgers, it's the meatloaf. The other stuff is like a side act. It's like, oh, well, we have that in the cabinet and it goes with that. Okay? This is the opposite of that, is to think about trying foods that have a wide variety of plants in them, and then meat is just a nice flavoring if it's necessary at all. Okay? It's not saying you can't have it, it's not the star of the show. You like bacon? Great. Chop it up and put it in like 6 different servings of something instead of like everybody gets 3 pieces. Or something wrapped in it.
I like bacon.
Everything's better with bacon.
Oh, I'll have to tell you the short stories. Dr. Sam and I went to, I moved and we have an in-ground pool. That's exciting in my little complex. And we were sitting there one evening and she's like, I smell bacon. I'm like, I think this party over here is grilling out something that's definitely bacon wrapped. And we like sit down on the lawn chairs, they open up the grill and it's a full pig. And I'm like, there's your bacon. And it's like, snout and all. And I'm like, someone's having a pig roast. But yeah, it was just funny. She's like, I smell bacon. I'm like, yeah, I kind of do too. Maybe it's the gigantic pig over okay, so the next thing I want to kind of cover outside of the whole foods thing, or the plant-based, is to give you guys some tips about cheap, healthy cooking and food providing, all right? I know that I talked to you guys to death about this stuff, about meal planning and and grocery shopping on the outside and not in the aisles, and coupon clipping and meal prep and all of the things. We've gone through so much of this. And I was going on websites and looking at different resources I have and different things from Intera, and I thought, to heck with it. I went on BuzzFeed, and these are all ideas from social media. These are a bunch of people who just wrote in on Facebook and Twitter and just gave some ideas about what they do in their practical lives. And it turns out there are a lot of the things that we talk about here. All right, so this resource is just for you to have to look through, especially if you're new to this and you haven't been to a bunch of my classes. Look through this and think about different ways and different things that you might pick up that you're not doing now. Going to that farmer's market, looking for bargains. Some people were saying that they have done that, where they've gone to the farmer's market and they've given them a deal at the end of the day. Like here, get rid of it. I've done that in Oshkosh. I did that a couple times where I went late because I taught a fitness class in the morning, and I didn't get them to knock down the price, but I got them to add a little bit more. Well, just put that in there too. I know you're weighing it, but just chuck that in there. You're gonna pitch it anyway, right? So kind of finagle with that a little bit. If you're single or you're just a few couples, I know a couple different households that share a Costco membership. That's kind of nice. Buying seasonal. I like number 11. Learn how to read the price labels. All right, so go up and read the unit price. What are you laughing about already? What?
I just read it.
You what?
I can't read.
You can't read. Yeah. Well, the unit prices are on there, and they're a number, so you don't even need to read the English language. You just need to look at a number. Yeah, if you know numbers, okay? But that's what you want to look for. When they are trying to sell you something and they put out that big deal or whatever, and if you really compare them, you could have something that's 4 ounces and 8 ounces, and you're like, well, wait, why is that more expensive? Because it's the unit price. It's how much are you paying per unit, okay? At Costco, they do the opposite. Because, and Cindy was talking about that the hour before this, because they want you to see the unit price, because you're paying a large dollar amount for something, and they want you to see, but you might be paying $30 for this, but it's actually so much per unit. So they're trying to point that out. Where at the other grocery stores, it's like the flip-flop, okay? They don't want you to see the unit price. You might catch me in a grocery store standing on a shelf below trying to read the unit price because it's underneath the little lip of the thing, okay? Because it's important for me to try to see what's the better deal, all right? So that's a way you can save. Buy the generic brands of foods. Repurposing leftovers. I repurpose leftovers all the time. And if you guys don't eat a lot of this stuff, I'm going to really be repurposing leftovers. There's a couple different things. They have eat less meat on here. And then last but not least are all these recipes, all right? So the recipes that I brought in today are provided for you. So the first thing that I want to point out, we have bean burgers. Now, they're little sliders. Is that what you call them? They're little sliders, yeah. Because I just made them small. So my suggestion, if you want to try one of the burgers, is to take 1 or 2 of them and just go zap them in the microwave, just to give them a little bit of some heat. You can eat them cold. The first hour was doing it. I'm like, okay. But I really wanted you guys to try them, because I think people are like, oh, I can't ever eat those kind of things. And they were really easy to make, and they're really good. I did put jalapeno in them. Someone who eats spicy food was like, I couldn't even tell. I can't tell that it's in there, but if you have a spicy thing, know that there's jalapenos in the burgers. Also, these might look like science experiments. They're not. It's salad dressing, okay? You shake it up, and then there's little shot glasses to pour it in. So basically, if you want to come up and build your own salad, this is what you got. Bowls. We have romaine and cabbage. Yes, try the cabbage. It's crunchy. It's good. Then, this might seem weird to you, but it's not that weird. You put a little cold brown rice or some cold Asian noodles on there, whole wheat noodles, and put that. And then add a little veg. There's carrots, red pepper, cucumbers. This is jicama salsa, which has no peppers in it, but I did put a little chili powder on it. That's fun to try. And then try one of these dressings. And then that's going to be your little salad bowl. Okay? So you guys can come up and eat whenever you'd like. Come up and try. Does anyone have any questions? Is anyone afraid to eat the salad? I've been getting rave reviews on it. Tom's in. Get in there, Tom.
That's because I'm going home to run. So
Okay, well you go. Yeah, you get your meal in. All right, so that's it, kids. Let me turn this off so you don't have to be on camera when you're